Hey everybody, welcome to our season finale for season 2 of Let's Talk with the Saw right here on Superlative Radio.
Here we are.
And so this week, the only show we have to talk about, of course, is Discovery. Season 3, episode 13, the season finale.
I thought it was going to be a cliffhanger, but it wasn't.
Yeah, so that's all we've got. Please stay tuned for next week. Next week we're going to start season 3, but we're going to be talking about WandaVision, the first episode of that, which starts on Disney Plus on January the 15th, and we are going to be talking about Pennyworth, season 2, episode 1, which starts here in Canada on January the 17th. So next week we will be talking about both of those for the season 3 premiere. And we got some really cool stuff coming with how we were going to do.
Yeah,
we're gonna do the whole like showing scenes and stuff behind us, like we started.
No
with
sound
season 2.
or anything. You'll just see the scenes behind us.
But we're gonna do that regardless of whatever everybody out there wants to complain about it. It's ridiculous. It's reviews, so that's what we're gonna do. So stay tuned for that. And so there will be spoilers for. If you haven't seen the episodes yet, you may not want to sit down and actually watch those because you'll be seeing scenes.
Yeah.
That said, first of all, I also want you guys to check out our season premiere for All in the Pen, our pilot episode of our puppet sitcom. It started this past Saturday, and it will be airing once a month. And you can check it out right here on Superlative Radio on our YouTube channel. Please have a look, share it, have a laugh, enjoy. We had a lot of fun making it, and we've got some really good stuff coming for that too. That said, let's move on to Discovery. So, there it is, Discovery.
He enjoys that.
Yeah, I know. So, Discovery. So, what'd you think? The season finale of season 3. What'd you think?
I didn't necessarily mind it. In a way, it didn't disappoint me because I expected her to become captain one way or the other. It just seemed to be to me that would have been the way that it worked. Burnham would end up in the seat. Kind of like Kirk in the new Star Trek thing. How it all it's just one of those things you expect it to happen. And I mean, I expected it to happen. Honestly, though, I didn't expect it to happen this fast. I thought it was going to end with a cliffhanger and then take us to the next season, getting us to hold on to go, But I'm glad it didn't because I hate having to wait like that. I'm not one who has the patience in a lot of cases to, even when I want something, I want it, half an hour before I realized I wanted it. That's just the way I am, So, I mean, I expected that to happen, but I'm glad it did, and it's done. I know you have a whole other issue with it, which we'll get into in a second. But one of the things I do agree with you on was I was disappointed at the whole explanation for the burn.
Yeah.
That, to me, that was a letdown. Just some kid having a tantrum was not
how
viable. It was not a viable.
No, because it doesn't make
any
sense.
Yeah, not a viable explanation for me. I was like, come on, couldn't you have given it something else?
I know that was with me. What I don't understand about it, and what doesn't make any sense, is there's absolutely no way that even if he was on that planet, which is almost entirely dilithium, and it was in the middle of this strange nebula and all this stuff, there's still no way that it should have affected dilithium that was hundreds and hundreds of light years and thousands of light years away.
Yeah, well,
there's just no way that it would. It made absolutely no sense.
It was a letdown for me. Yeah. It was. I was let down with that explanation. I mean, I even liked your explanation better that it was Michael coming through the thing. The whole.
Well, see, that's what I thought it was going to be. Is I thought that what they were going to do is they were going to explain it as the burn and connect it to Burnham. In that sense, but have it be the Red Angel suit that when she sent it off back through time to get destroyed, that's when it flew back through the wormhole or whatever it caused, an explosion, which is why Discovery showed up later than her, and all that. Like,
see, I could have followed that logic because when you said it to me,
it made sense.
I went, yeah, okay, that could be.
And it would have enabled them to explain why Discovery was a year late. It would have explained why the burn happened 100 and some odd years in the past, because it would have just, that the destruction of this time travel suit in a time traveling wormhole would screw something up.
That's right.
It just would have made logical sense to me.
Yeah. See, I was thinking. See, when you first said it, what was about 4 or 5.
This is why I should be writing Star Trek. People.
Maybe you should. When you first brought it up. What was it, like 4 episodes ago or something? Where 5
no. It was about 4 or 5 episodes in.
Okay,
when
you said it, and I thought, okay, he must be like, how you go on and you're looking at what people say, and you sort of go around the back door and kind of find things that are going on.
Well, I had heard a rumor.
No, I thought. Yeah, well, you see, this is it. I thought you have a sort of an inside scoop somewhere of something. So you're okay. So I thought, okay, so he's got it. That's a good idea because that's.
Well, I had heard a rumor that the theory was that somehow Burnham in the Red Angel suit caused it, but no, I hadn't heard any explanation to that point as to how. So I thought about it, and I thought, well, if it is a result of her and the Red Angel suit, then how would it? Well, let's see. She shot it back through the wormhole into time, back through time to destroy itself or whatever, which would cause there's a
reaction. So it would,
So I thought about it and I thought, well, how would I, if I was one of the writers, how would I do it? Well, that's how I would have done it. I would have had that all be connected, so that would have been like, yes, you came to the future to save everything from control and whatever was going on, but then at the same time, you also caused this horrible. Because of what you're doing with time travel, you cause this horrible incident to happen. So I thought that would have been a cool, but again,
both sides of the same coin, the good and the bad.
Yeah,
from
exactly.
The whole,
like yes, there's for every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction.
You can't have a light without a dark to stick it in. Yeah, exactly.
And that's what I thought they would have done, but
and that makes perfect sense to me. That could have been.
I thought it would have been a better story.
I would have preferred that, be honest. And
not just because I thought of it, but I mean, I would have. It would have made more sense story-wise.
It does. Except some kid having a tantrum and whatever. So I was very disappointed. So it was just one of those things that I just thought, no, I'm sorry, this doesn't work for me. But anyway, other than that, I was like, okay, this and that and everything else going, and I was glad to see that they, finally did what they did and they got it, back to where it should be. So that was my biggest disappointment with the whole thing. Other than that, I'm okay with it. I'm I know you have other issues, which you will tell them in a second. Which once you told me off air, I kind of went, yeah, okay, I can see where, but I wasn't thinking that at the time. But yeah, all in all, I guess if it boils down like we always say on 10, I would have probably given it about maybe 7.5, 8.
Geez, that's pretty high. Now, see, I have enjoyed Season 3. Like I said before, I have enjoyed Season 3. I think Season 2 was better. Having watched all of 1, 2, and 3 now, I think Season 2 is the best season they've done. I do like Season 3. I just am unhappy with the explanation for the burn, and I have some issues with this final episode and what they did. Now,
so now you can tell them what
personally,
your issues are.
as you guys out there know from watching, I'm not a fan of Michael Burnham. But I kind of saw her either becoming captain or first officer again by the end of it. You know what I mean?
The stunt hand.
Like one of those. I kind of figured would happen. So that doesn't really bother me. I just don't like the character.
We need to do a remake of Addams Family, and we can use his hand as thing.
But, I mean, aside from the burn, which was a season-wide thing that I wasn't crazy about how they explained it all. And I know they explained how the burn happened 2 or 3 episodes ago, but it just didn't.
They just sealed it now.
Yeah,
because
they just
of the
actually
whole thing,
finally sealed it as that's what it was and everything. So I was like, yeah. But my other issue... I have 2 other issues. One is I don't think the Emerald Chain would completely collapse simply because Osira was killed. in most organizations like that, there's always somebody waiting in the wings to seize power. Always. There's always a, now I realize at the time that other guy, that human who was fighting Booker,
Yeah.
I realized he died as well, and he was one of her higher ups too. I get that, but there would have obviously also been someone somewhere else in the Emerald Chain. It just didn't make sense to me that that's what would have happened, is that it just would have completely collapsed. An organization that's that widespread would take time to collapse. It's the same as what they did with Star Wars, right? When you watch Return of the Jedi, yeah, they kill the Emperor, they blow up the second Death Star, and that's the start of the rebellion actually winning and bringing back the New Republic. Whereas it takes time for the Empire to collapse, as we see in The Mandalorian. There's still vestiges of it where people have power. So it would be the same thing with the Emerald Chain. It might dissolve into different groups, but there would for them to just say, well, it collapsed. Well, it wouldn't just collapse. It's been in power for like 100 years. It would take time for that to fall. You know, like it would
that
take.
That makes sense,
especially given Starfleet's not that big to take care of it all at once. Like,
the current situation with Starfleet as it is, that makes sense.
The other thing that made no sense is that the Discovery was able to hold out against the entirety of Starfleet inside their shield, where their entire fleet was, pummeling the crap out of it. Like that makes no sense. Like one ship is able to resist being blasted by every other ship in the fleet in there. Like, no. I mean, even the Enterprise couldn't take that kind of a beating. Like, let's, even the Defiant couldn't, and the Defiant was tough as hell. So, but I can let that slide. Because maybe they were firing on them hoping to disable the ship, so they were using powered down versions of what, I don't know.
There could be many explanations.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm willing to let that slide. But my other big issue was the turbolift fight.
See, when you said this to me, I kind of... So this one, think about this one. You don't realize until you think about it.
The Discovery is only like 300 meters in length. When you watch those turbolifts, first of all, turbolifts, and they existed in the same format from Enterprise through the original series to Next Generation to Deep Space Nine to Voyager, all as a turbolift was basically, it's just an elevator in a shaft that goes either up or across.
That's right.
Based on magnetic and force field lifts. That's how they work. It's like they get in, they say take us to whatever, and it goes up or it goes across or whatever. But it's in a shaft. And then they showed the inside of Discovery like it was as big as the inside of the damn Death Star. Like it was humongous. There's no way the ship has that much empty space in it. Inside of it. There's none. First of all, that is the most ridiculous concept to have even portrayed. Now, I get they were trying to make it dramatic or whatever, but come on. Turbolifts don't work that way. And anybody who knows anything about engineering and starship construction, which, I mean, hell, I am no friggin' NASA engineer.
Really?
But you don't waste space on a starship or a spaceship of any kind. You don't waste it like that. Just vast open space. You don't. Why would you have it? It would be a complete and utter waste of space. There's no need of it.
There's no sense of it.
Yeah. No, exactly. It makes no sense. So it was completely ridiculous. It was the most ridiculous scene it was almost as bad as the way they made the Klingons look in season 1. That's how bad it was. Like it was that terrible. It is one of the worst scenes they've ever done.
Yeah. After you explained it, I kind of went, yeah, I see your point.
It makes no sense.
No, it didn't.
Like,
you're right.
You wouldn't have that kind of empty space. And first of all, it makes no sense as to why people would fall. Because it's not like the ship has gravity on the bottom of the hull. The deck plates have artificial gravity in them. That's what keeps you on the ground.
Yeah, that's right.
So if as an example, if you did have this kind of empty space in the ship and you fell out of a turbo lift, you'd just float there.
You just float, yeah.
You wouldn't fall because you're in space.
That's right. There's no gravity.
There's no gravity
That's
there
right.
to make
so
you
there's
fall.
nothing to make you go. Yeah.
It's like there's just so much about it that I was just like, no.
Makes sense, and it's
anyway.
But again, you suspend your belief and you just follow
You do. I mean, otherwise,
but that's what entertainment usually is in a lot of cases. It's a matter of suspending your belief and just watching it for what they're putting across.
But it's like when you're looking at the inside of the Discovery and you're going, my God, that's like 1,000, 2,000 meters in length and thousands of meters high. Like, are you kidding me? The ship is only so big. Now, I get that they did explain that Discovery is a rather large ship.
But that still doesn't make it.
Because I think technically, while they say 300 meters in length, I actually think the ship is actually bigger than that. But I think it's like, see, the way they explain it is it's like it's a very large ship. There's a lot of unused empty space in it, like in the sense of because it's a science vessel. It was an experimental science vessel. Its purpose was to go out and conduct. That's why it had the spore drive. It was completely experimental. Everything that it did was experimental. So, like, where we usually see them activating the spore drive, that's not engineering. That's just a science lab, which is one of hundreds of science labs on that ship for different types of experiments. So, the fact that most of the ship was probably science labs, that are unused and whatever. They're only used for specific experiments or whatever. That, I get that. But, so I get that the ship was probably a lot bigger than it really was. Like, I think it was more closer on scale and size to like, maybe like the Enterprise B or the Excelsior from, Star Trek 3 and 4, as opposed to the Enterprise, the original one from the original series,
that was
Constitution, because it was a smaller ship. I don't know, but I think it was a bigger ship. It had a lot of, and I mean, it had that big triangle thing, which had a lot of space in it. I get that. But I mean, that could explain maybe the amount of space where they show the turbolifts going this way, but it wouldn't explain the amount of space going this way because it wasn't very high. It didn't have very many decks, right? So.
And it looked like with that shot, it looked like that's right, exactly.
I mean, he fell from being full size to being like this
that's right,
big.
exactly. So like, there was a long way down there. Yeah,
just didn't make any sense. Anyway, so I don't know. Whatever you guys thought of it. Otherwise, I mean, I don't think it was a bad episode. It's just those things bug me because when I think of storylines myself, I think the fact that Osira dying, it's like, okay, well, she's dead, but then it would splinter and fracture or whatever, or maybe someone else would seize power, so they would still have that as a threat.
Well, maybe next season you'll see something come up.
Yeah, and that's what I think. I'm hoping that's what they do. I would like to know really, like, where are the Klingons? Where are the Cardassians? I mean, those are like traditional enemies of the Federation. Like, what's
they're with Kim and Chloe.
Where are they at? Like, what's going on with them?
Kardashian.
I know.
It's hard to keep up with your Kardashian jokes.
Yeah, I know.
But like, it just I would like to see some more. Again,
what a room!
But that boils down again to what I said about 13 episode seasons as opposed to 26 episode seasons, which I've talked about many times. Again, the amount of story we're being given is being cut in half.
Of course, and
it's just. It's terrible as opposed to what we could be getting because they could explain so much more, Anyway,
well,
that's what I thought. I mean, otherwise, I did rather like the episode. Otherwise,
Yeah, so
I mean, it wasn't like I said. The season hasn't been bad. It's just, I think season 2 was definitely better. Anson Mount as Pike really brought that season.
Well, yeah,
together. It was.
Anson's a hell of an actor, and he pulled it off well. So maybe are they going to? Oh, he's supposed to get his own series.
They're supposed to do Strange New Worlds, so I don't know if we're going to see it or not. Who knows? Well, there's supposedly like 6 Star Trek shows in production or something. I haven't something crazy like that. I don't know. I mean, who knows if we'll see it or not? I don't know.
Time will tell.
Yeah, but I mean, overall, I think the season 2 is the best, season 3 is the next best, and then season 1. You know, but again, I would say that pretty much about if I looked at the first 3 seasons of every other Star Trek, I would say when you look at things, I would go, okay, the original series only had 3 seasons, so of course by the third one it was probably better overall.
Because then by then you get your
but you know, when you get to next,
when you get space legs.
Yeah, when you get to Next Generation, I would say season 3 is definitely the best of the first 3. Deep Space Nine, again, season 3 is the best one. Voyager, they suck all equally. Enterprise didn't get good till season 4, so I mean it's really hard to tell there. But but I mean, with I don't think the first season of any of them, any Star Trek show, is good. When you think about it, when you look back at them and you watch them, they're getting their space legs, as you said. Yeah,
yep.
Like they're trying to figure out where the characters are and who they are and where
all
they're
the development
going.
is going on at that point.
So you can't fault a show for its first season.
No,
it always takes time for a show to get going, especially when you have shows with big, diverse casts.
Mm-hmm. And everybody's got to fit into their little roles and whatnot. So yeah.
It still, again, we talked about this, I think, last week or the week before. It still bugs me that you have a cast in Discovery that's as big as it is, and we still know so little about them.
Yeah. Well, maybe you'll get more next season.
I don't think we will, because that's not how they've designed the show.
Yeah.
The show is designed to... The show is designed to revolve around Michael Burnham.
Yeah.
Right? And I get that. But at the same time, I just want to see the other characters get some development so that you can feel for them more. You can understand them more. You can connect with them more so that they're not just someone who's standing on the bridge every week pushing buttons, not doing anything, getting the odd line in here and there every 3 episodes or something. Like, think about it. This last episode, I don't even know. I don't even know the character's name. This is how bad it is. The black girl on the bridge.
I know.
She's not the pilot. She's the other character.
The other side there.
Okay?
Yeah.
So she's like the ops character. Or whatever.
Well, you see, again, like when you first brought it up.
What's her name?
Yeah. When you first brought it up, you see, again, I saw that scene in...
This is the most development she's had all season, where she carried that bomb.
Yeah, that's right.
Like...
Not you, random henchman turning,
Yeah.
See, that's what comes to mind every time you say that.
Exactly.
I see that scene in
Yeah.
So
that's what I mean. Like, I'm like, I don't even know the character's name, and I can never remember it. Like, I can remember Stamets.
Yeah.
I can remember Hugh. I can't remember the pilot's name, but at least I know who she is because she's got that cyborg thing on her face. Yeah. But like, other than that, the only other characters that are have decently developed, I mean, Booker, who was just introduced this season, has more development than half the bridge
That's
crew.
right, exactly. I know.
Like, what the hell? Who wrote that?
But all in all, it's not a bad series overall.
No, not at all.
And hopefully it'll develop again, as I said, into the next season and sort of bring a little bit more together to do it. So that's all we can do is hope. But we'll see.
Yeah, we will. Anyway, we want to know what you guys have thought of Discovery so far.
Yeah, where do you stand with it so far?
If you've been watching Discovery now that it's over, and the same with The Mandalorian, because we've talked about that, and I've talked about Transformers if you've been watching that. Any of the things, if you've been watching them, what do you think of them overall? Do you have like a favorite episode? Do you like one season better than another? Whatever it is, comment below. Let us know. And stay tuned for, like I said, next week for this premiere of Season 3. And we will be reviewing WandaVision and Pennyworth. So should be a lot of fun. I don't know about you guys, but I am pretty excited to finally get to see some new Marvel content because it's been, oh my God, what? The last new Marvel we had was Spider-Man Far From Home, which was almost a year and a half. Oh, I think it was a year and a half ago. It's been a while because 2019 was the last time they released anything. There was no new Marvel in 2020. So I don't know about you guys. I'm just itching for more new Marvel stuff. So,
And I'm anxious to see what this WandaVision is going to be like. So.
I have heard it's really good. So apparently the first 3 episodes have been released to different media places for review. So I'm hoping that we're going to be able to really delve into it. And
of course, Pennyworth.
Cool. Pennyworth, yeah.
Been waiting for that
Me
for
too.
a while. So
it should be cool. And
so then we'll talk about it next week.
So we'll see you guys next week. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You know, show us to your friends, show us to your enemies, show us to your family, show us to everybody. Just, you know,
pass this around.
Click that like button, because what happens when you do that, it doesn't maybe do anything for you, but it does help us. It helps us in YouTube and letting people see our content. So
every little bit helps.
Every little bit helps. So please, if you could at least click the like button and subscribe if you would really like to. Thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll see you guys next week for season 3.
See you later.